Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. Welcome to a public presentation of our findings from the Lambton Shores Adhoc Sewage Advisory Committee. My name is Carl Belke. I'm chairman of the committee. The committee includes 4 elected members of municipal council and 6 volunteer residents. 3 that came from Zone 3 and 3 that came from Zone 4. Their names and affiliations appear on the screen, as well as on the green handout that you can receive on the back there. Early last summer, Municipal Council established this particular committee to gather information on projects known as Zones 3 and 4 sanitary sewer collection system. Once the committee met, it was felt that the mandate should be extended to include the proposed sanitary treatment plant as it related to the collection system. Council agreed with the change, and the mandate is found on the next slide as well as on the handout. The committee produced a work plan and schedule which divided the task into 6 topics. The whole committee, as a working group, developed a draft report for the first topic, and that is of the need for improved sewage treatment. The remaining 4 topics were tackled by teams of 3, which brought draft copies of their reports to the whole committee for approval. And one of the members of each of those teams will be presenting the particular topic that is referred to. A final report will be submitted to Lambton Shores Council sometime in January, we hope, and that is as soon as it's approved by the committee as a whole. The format that we'd like to follow this morning is as follows. We anticipate a formal presentation of about an hour's duration. We have provided on the second page of this handout a sheet that asks for questions and comments, and feel free to jot down any questions as you think of them during the presentations. We're not going to allow for any discussion with the audience, but we will gather the questions and we will read them out and answer them for you as best we can. This will occur after a brief recess of approximately 10 to 15 minutes. And it's at this time we will ask that you submit those questions and comments so that we can handle them after the break. Please include your name and contact information on the sheet where it's provided, and in the event that we are not able to answer the question at the particular time, we will endeavor to do so and be able to answer you in writing at a later date. All the questions and comments that you submit will be included in the final report that is submitted to Municipal Council. Okay? We can then start with the first topic, and I'm the presenter of the need for improved sewage treatment. In the 1990s and on, the Pinery Park continued to experience visitors to the point that park officials became very concerned with their ability to handle sewage. The Park commissioned Dillon Consulting to recommend options for future waste management. The preferred option was to install a low-pressure sewage collection system in the park and pipe the sewage to the Grand Bend Lagoon. As park officials began negotiating with Lambton Shores to have this happen, Council decided it was an opportune time to review wastewater servicing in Lambton Shores in view that the capacity required for the pinery and pending new developments such as South Bend Estates. With the pioneer experience, Dylan was then hired to develop a new master plan. The final report, known as the Grand Bend Area Sanitary Sewage Servicing Master Plan, was endorsed by Council in 2006. The study area included the shoreline areas of North Lambton Shores, later referred to as Zones 3 and 4, the shoreline and corridor along Highway 83 to Dashwood in South Huron, and that became actually known as Zone 3, and finally the Blue Water shoreline all the way from Port Blake to St. Joseph as Zone 1. The master plan called for 3 major projects: the construction of a force main from the Pinery to the Grand Bend Lagoon, according to the agreement was reached earlier, the expansion and upgrade of the Grand Bend Sanitary Treatment Facility from a lagoon to a mechanical treatment plant that would service the entire area. And finally, the provision of municipal sanitary sewers serviced in all of the areas as well. The justification for the sanitary treatment facility was twofold. The lagoon was 25 years old at the time and would require some sort of rejuvenation. With commitments to accept flows from the Pinery and other new developments, the lagoon was reaching full capacity. The justification for a sewer collection system was based on the following arguments. Many septic systems in Zone 3 were approaching the end of their life expectancy and would need to be replaced. Lot sizes in areas could not accommodate some of the new regulatory guidelines. The shallow aquifer along the shoreline was susceptible to contamination from septic systems. This statement came from a survey study that was conducted in 2005 by Dillon Consultants and Golder Associates. In order to proceed with any infrastructure project that particularly affect the taxpayer, the municipality and consultant must conduct what's called an environmental assessment. And it has to follow a specific protocol that initiates the projects, informs the public through public information centers, and then provides a notice of completion. The Pinery Force Main Projects was titled North Lambton Shores Pumping Station and Pressure Sewer. Although the EA procedure was conducted with the proper notifications, many of the Zone 4 residents were not aware that the sewer collection system in their neighborhood was also part of the Pinery EA. Long after Ministry of the Environment approval of the Pinery EA, residents complained to Council of the oversight, with the result that early this year, Council passed a motion to remove the requirement of a low-pressure collection system for Zone 4 EA. But resolution has been put on hold until this committee presents its report to Council. As part of the EA process in Zone 3, a public information center was held in September of 2008 when residents were informed that the preferred solution and option for a sewer collection system was to use low-pressure piping and an outside grinder pump installed at each household. Most residents in attendance at that particular meeting were opposed to the proposed based on the operation and maintenance of a grinder pump. In addition, there was a call for proof that there was indeed a justifiable need for a sewer system. Please allow me to digress a little bit from the story here and briefly discuss raw sewage. Many centuries ago, people learned